Taha lives in Zaka, the second largest city in Jordan. Several years ago, he was injured when an unexploded munition blew up. I worked in this workshop when I was 16. One day my boss asked me to go and fetch a bomb from our scrap metal stock. We thought it had been defused and was harmless. I was standing next to him when he picked it up to cut it. Once we cut it, we realized that it hadn't been defused and was still full of explosive. It blew up. I was injured in both legs. Now Taha wears artificial limbs. 2 people were killed and another injured in the accident. From 1948 to 1975, Jordan was marked by several conflicts. They left scars on the country. Numerous unexploded and abandoned munitions are scattered around the countryside and towns. The NCDR is NATO's partner responsible for identifying priority risk areas.
We have 164 communities that are affected by ERWs, predominantly in the northern part. We have had, in the last year, during 2008, unfortunately, we had 13 accidents, which resulted in the death of 6 individuals.
NATO launched with Jordan the very first Mediterranean Dialogue Trust Fund.
Let me reiterate JAF's belief in the Mediterranean dialogue as a tool to enhance peace and security in the Middle East.
This trust fund bridges the boundary that all too often exists between the military and civilian communities, and it encourages them to work more closely together.
One of the aims of the Trust Fund is to help Jordan clear the country of these unexploded and abandoned munitions.
The leading part of this first Trust Fund project are Norway, Spain and Switzerland, and the financial support by these leading countries is used to buy and finance equipment and facilities in order to implement the project of survey and detection of the UXO.
Under the Trust Fund, NATO has also given Jordan detection devices, vehicles and special clearance equipment. But before the army starts its work in the field, a thorough survey is carried out by the NCDR.
One of the major parts of the funding provided by the Trust Fund is to conduct technical and community assessments to identify ERW impacted areas. Zarqa was one of the areas where we have received several reports, many reports that indicated it's highly impacted. This is where we're heading today to conduct a community meeting and gather as much information as possible.
These witness reports are vital, but it's sometimes very difficult to persuade people to speak out.
One of the main difficulties is that it is difficult to convince the people to give out information to the surveyors. They're usually afraid to provide information on where UXOs are because they're afraid to be legally questioned.
Another reason is that buying and selling the metal is a potential source of income. We want information on the people affected, the location of the unexploded munitions, and the reasons why they are in the area. The Al Alouk area in the commune of Zarqa is one of the most notorious areas for this kind of accident. I myself was injured there, as many other people have been. I can show you the way so you can inspect the place. Often those who come forward have themselves been victims of unexploded munitions. Dima's team is going to collect several witness statements and be guided to the sites concerned. Did you go close to it? We went to about 5 meters away from it. There it is. It hasn't been touched. You didn't move it or touch it. No, we wanted to show it to you. The NCDR will then record the object's exact position. We're back in the NCDR's offices. This is where the data collected in the field are analysed.
Now we're preparing the maps after we have conducted the technical assessments. Here we're locating the area that we have identified as a problematic area. In the next step, you're going to see the exact location of the device that we have found yesterday.
The NCDR will then call in the Royal Engineer Corps. It's the Jordanian army that's responsible for detecting and destroying unexploded and abandoned munitions. The area is explored and the object is identified and then either blown up on the spot or removed to a secure site. This clearance of Jordanian territory is a particularly good example of the importance of the Mediterranean dialogue NATO has embarked on.
NATO is very much interested in Mediterranean security, and it's again, this is a two-way process whereby countries of the dialogue can benefit in contributing to the security of the region, and also NATO can benefit by fulfilling part of its mission in the region.
Another part of the Trust Fund project involves construction of a new site for demilitarization of munitions. The current site is on the outskirts of Zaka and is therefore a danger to the population. The Jordanian army has already identified over 4,000 tons of munitions that have to be destroyed.
This is basically a site plan of the location where the surplus ammunition disposal facility will be established by the Jordanian Armed Forces in collaboration with NATO. We're standing right in the location that was very carefully chosen, and if you look at the area, I think it does provide, geographically speaking, naturally safety factors that in some cases you will have to worry about by establishing some actual safety measures.
This facility is funded by the 10 countries making voluntary contributions to this project. The alliance and its partners will in addition offer Jordan their expertise. Alongside NAMSA, NATO's executing agent coordinating the trust fund, Switzerland will help to set up a laboratory to identify potentially dangerous munitions. Back to the town. Thanks to the victim rehabilitation program, Taha has been able to live an almost normal life. He's married and the father of 4 children. For him, the trust fund's work is a source of real hope. I'm very pleased about the work that Jordan is undertaking to eliminate unexploded munitions from this country. Thanks to that work, it may perhaps be possible to avoid accidents like the one I was a victim of. Perhaps it won't happen to someone else or to one of my children. Thousands of Jordanians like Taha hope to live in a safer environment. For the country, it's a socio-economic issue too. In the future, hundreds of hectares will once again be able to be used in complete safety.